Adams, a reporter with MedCity News, and I'm here with Davey, the founder and CEO of Wheel, a company focused on virtual care enablement. So, virtual care utilization definitely isn't as high as it was during the peak of the pandemic, but experts say it's here to stay. Can you explain why you think it's here for good?
Absolutely. So it's definitely not at the same rates as it was in the peak pandemic when we were all forced to go online to receive our care. But we are seeing higher utilization across the board, across multiple different specialties. I think it's here to stay, not only because consumers adopted it during the pandemic, but also clinicians. So clinicians came online for the first time ever. Less than 1% of clinicians and providers had used telehealth in their virtual practice or in their practice pre-pandemic. Post-pandemic, 100% of clinicians are now using or have used virtual care or some type of virtual offering since then. So not only are you seeing consumer adoption change, but clinician adoption change. And that's really exciting because when doctors tell their patients how or where to receive their care, and really that trust, about 70% of patients will act on that care because of the doctor. And that's why I believe virtual care is here to stay. We may see some headwinds, but really a lot of changes from a regulatory perspective coming as well. We've seen that broaden and open up. So I'm really bullish on the future.
So virtual appointments are often the first point of interaction between a provider and their patient, but not the last. Can you talk about the shift toward these hybrid models of care?
Absolutely. So I believe that most care in the future is actually going to begin online, just like you said, but it may not end there. And that's the importance of virtual first care. How do we help a patient who comes online? We triage and navigate them to the best site of care. Sometimes we can do that virtually in a virtual setting. Other times that's going to be, maybe you need to go in person and see a doctor or be routed to in-home care or have a phlebotomist come to your home. But the patient shouldn't bear that responsibility to navigate them through that very complex system. That is what Wheel is ultimately building, is the underlying infrastructure for virtual first care, from telehealth to labs and diagnostics, as well as in-home care, and connecting all of that together so clinicians can help the patient navigate that care both from a virtual care capacity, but also when they need to be seen in person, and vice versa. Maybe you need to be seen in person and you go there for your care, but the follow-up visit is done virtually as well.
So I would love to get your take on this because there's a lot of telehealth companies out there. What separates the strong ones from the not so strong ones?
Oh yes, there are a lot of telehealth companies out there, and I think there's a couple different things that I think about when I think about great telehealth. First and foremost, it's a great patient experience as well as a clinician experience. Both of those together are really hard to do. As well as in this macroeconomic environment, you really need to focus on what you're great at. That is why partners partner with Wheel ultimately, because they can focus on their patient experience, their patient brand, and know that we, behind the scenes, are delivering that care to the highest quality, and they don't really have to worry about finding the clinician, the regulatory structures behind all of that, and ultimately that care being delivered in the quality assurance programs on top of it. The other thing I think of is healthcare is very complex. So great telehealth is ultimately a compliant journey as well. We've really seen players across the industry struggle with that, but finding partners who are really strong in that and understanding the regulations that you are practicing under are really important. And finding not only partners like Wheel, but the right other partners from a legal capacity to help you navigate that are incredibly important. And that, again, drives a great patient experience and an incredible clinician experience because they know they are practicing not only at their top of the license, but compliant care across the board.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Michelle.
Yeah.
What you heard and helped.